already. Jason Geiman here with King of Pressure Wash. And tonight I'm going to hit on something that is kind of coming more and more relevant of what should I do? Should I go buy a $20,000 rig? Should I go buy a $30,000 rig? Should I, Jason? Or what should I do? And what made me think about this is actually David James. I don't think that's his name, but that's what he is on Facebook. He had posted about the 7 tips of starting a business, and the number one tip. Can anybody guess what the number one tip was? Let me see if anybody can guess what the number one tip was when starting a pressure washing business. Who in here thinks the number one tip was to go buy a $20,000 rig? And if that was your answer, you would be wrong. That is the red tip. You are right about that. It is to do marketing. How can we get marketing? How can we get the phone ringing? Because marketing is what grows their business, not the rig, not any of that kind of stuff like that. So, before we get there, I see we got a lot of people on here, which is cool already. And I'm going to hit on that. I'm going to hit on one other thing about July, right? We're in July, and what happens in July and August. And so we'll talk about both of those things there. But before we do that, I'm actually in a hotel. Again, I'm in Montana. I'm in, Bozeman, Montana. It's beautiful. We're getting ready to go down to Yellowstone tomorrow. We was going to go up to, I'm actually going to see if I can move because the air is kind of cold right there. The wind's blowing. I'll make sure I can still see myself so I can block myself. It's freaking July and I about need to go get a sweatshirt on. But we was going to go to Glacier National Park, and it got it's not even halfway open because of all the snow on the mountain and stuff. So we actually changed it, and now we're going down to Yellowstone. So we'll be going through Yellowstone tomorrow. I've never been there. I've always seen pictures, and that's where we're headed back. We're headed back east. Had a great class this past weekend with about 5 guys from Seattle. It was an awesome class, and that's kind of got me started on this talk. Was about the equipment, and I'll tell that story coming up here shortly. But, I see a lot of guys, and I hate when I see people make this mistake, and I want to hit on that. But before we get into that, I want to say hi. There's a couple people jumped on here. I seen Pink Robin. What's up? We got Gene. How are you doing? We got Sterling Wash from Kentucky. Jeffrey Moore. If I were starting on Google profile, how many pictures should I post a day and not cause Google to close my account, and at the same time reach 100 photos? I blasted Google with the photos, and I've never had an issue with that side of it. But I would probably just try to do 5 or 6, maybe 10 a day, and that way you will be good there. But Jason, say hello, Central Kentucky. Yes, sir. So started out this year part-time, $900 pressure washer, 15-gallon sprayer, 200 feet of hose, 3/8 hose, and made around $7,000 already just working on Fridays out of my Camry. And this is what I love. I love people doing stuff like this right here. And this is what I'm going to hit on it for. So this weekend I had a class. We did Christmas lights, and then I ended up doing a pressure washing class. And yes, probably the guy that I'm going to talk about already knows I'm going to talk about him. He probably don't know I'm going to talk about him, but I'm going to talk about him because I'm going to hit on this because I don't want other people to make this mistake. I want you to be successful. I want you to know that you can grow a business. And so, like I say, I was here. John helped me host a class. He helped me get the place. He helped me get set up. I used his rig, and here's the deal with John. So John has went and bought a $13,000 rig. It cost him $3,000 to go pick it up, bring it back, spend the night, couple nights on the way down there, and John has made $0. $0. John has spent pretty much all his money on this equipment, and it was used, and so he got it, and that's fine. But what I want to hit on is he's got zero stuff. He don't have no marketing stuff. He is ordering signs, but his business has not grown at all. And because what I see so many people do is they go buy this equipment. And so I got another person that did the exact same thing. They got a rig, they ordered it, they went and made their rig now, and then they ordered another rig. So now we're $30,000 in equipment, and we're not spending any money in marketing. And it's the dumbest thing you can do. If you cannot get this phone to ring, it don't matter what kind of equipment you guys got, guys. And you might say, Jason, well, but... And then I just had another guy on tonight on my Zoom call that he bought a $20,000 rig. And I'm like, how much are you going to spend in marketing? Well, if you're going to spend $20,000 on equipment, you better be willing to spend $20,000 in marketing right away. Because if you're not willing to spend $20,000 in marketing right away, you don't need to be spending $20,000 on equipment. And I know there's pretty equipment out there, and I know there's people that will sell you equipment right now, but equipment does not make you money. I've had 4 people within this last 2 days that has $20,000 worth of equipment and can't sell a job to save their life, can't get money to come in. Why? Because their phone's not ringing. Equipment don't get our phone to ring. How do we get our phone to ring? I'll hit on some of those. But we have to do marketing to be able to grow our business. Otherwise, it don't matter what kind of equipment you got. Well, Jason, I can't do it if I don't have a pressure washer. I got somebody in my marketing guy. No, in my marketing Mondays, it comes every marketing Monday. He comes on some of these lives here, Walter, and he's doing $20,000 and $30,000 a month with a little 3.3 pressure washer out of the back of a pickup that he don't even have hose reels and a pump up sprayer. Yes, you can do $20,000, $30,000 months without having $20,000 worth of equipment and $0 in marketing. I'd much rather see you spend $20,000 in marketing and $0 and $2,000 in renting equipment. Because the shiny pendulum syndrome, you're exactly right. I see it happen over and over. Oh, look at this new product. It's the new 24-volt pressure. It's the new 24-volt. That's amazing. Look at this roof pump. It'll shoot to the moon. Look at this air pump. It'll shoot to the moon. Look at this new pressure washer. It'll shoot to the moon. Look at this nozzle. It'll shoot to the moon. You can have all the equipment you want. How do you spend $20,000 on equipment? It's real easy. You get on YouTube and you find people that sell equipment, and it's that easy. It's that easy. It's literally that easy. It's that easy. And you can go anywhere and buy $20,000 worth of equipment. It doesn't take very long to buy $20,000 worth of equipment, and it's real simple to do. They'll even finance you. You can just do it in these monthly payments, and these little monthly payments. And I'm not bashing them at all. They're there to make money. And if you're dumb enough and not smart enough to know that that's not what's going to make you money, then I'm sorry that I might hurt your feelings. But it will definitely hurt you without that. Because here's the thing. I want you to be successful. I want you to be able to go out there and make money. I had a guy in my group, and he's in another group, and he's like, how do I make money right now, Jason? It's dried up. Well, I'm going to hit on that. We're in June and July and August. It slows down. It slows down for everybody. I know big guys out there that are trying their butt to keep their guys busy because it slows down, right? April and May, you might have made 10, 20, $30,000. June, July, and August, you might make 5 grand. It gets real tough for this, especially if you're just starting out. And so that's what I was going to hit on too. If you're just starting out and it's June, July, and August, it's going to be real hard to get started. The money's just not there. People are spending their money at vacation. They're going on vacation. They're spending $2,000-$3,000 on vacation, and they don't have $1,000 to spend on pressure washing, right? Because they just don't have money to spend on pressure washing right now because they're not even at their house. They're at their lake house. They're on vacation. They're going to Disney. They're going wherever, and they're spending all their money there, and they don't have money to be spending at their house. One, they're probably not even at their house. So that's why it is huge. So that way, when we're looking at this, that you can do this stuff. You know, I see so many people go out here and be like, actually, I had 4 or 5 guys in the Zoom call tonight asking, what do I do to get business? It's slowed down to nothing. How do I get business? It's slowed down to nothing. You're right. It has slowed down to nothing. And it does this every year. It's not just 2022 that it drops to nothing. Last year, Jason Hefner, that I talk about on here all the time, it went to 0. And he was crying every day of, oh, I guess I must suck. I guess I must suck. No, you don't suck. It's just the market. It goes down at this time. And if somebody don't tell you that if somebody's telling you that you can do it, you are crazy. Now, what I will say is I used to run 4 trucks. When I was running my business, I had 4 trucks. March, April, May, I had 3 trucks residential, 3 to 4 trucks residential all week long. And then come in June, July, and August, I would push all my commercial work to those months, and I would run 3 trucks commercial and 1 residential. And yes, I always ran that 1 residential because that's cash flow. And if you're growing a business and if you have employees and you have overhead, you need cash flow. And if you don't know what cash flow means is it means that, hey, I've had times that I've had $50,000 and $70,000 in AR, accounts receivable. That means I did the work and I'm waiting on money, and that sucks. And so that's why I always had 1 truck doing residential, trying to do $1,500 to $2,000 a day. So then that way I had cash flow to pay my guys, to buy my bleach, to buy my gas, to keep the business going. Because if we don't have that cash flow, your business goes downhill really fast, because next thing you know, you're on credit card, you're on all these other things because you haven't figured out your cash flow. And this goes along whether you have 1 employee or 1 usually employee or 10 employees. It don't get no easier if you have 10 employees. When you have 10 employees and you have a cash flow problem and you don't have money to pay your employees, you're not going to have employees. Either that or you're not eating and you're not paying the bills, because that's what we have to do when we have a business and employees and we're trying to grow it. And so back to my original argument of, here's the deal with this. You can go and buy the sweetest equipment out there. They will sell it to you in a heartbeat. They will finance it for you and everything. But I guarantee you, if you don't know how to get the phone to ring, and then if you don't know how to close jobs, that equipment, it looks beautiful, but you know what? That customer could care less about that equipment. They could care less about that $20,000 rig. They could care less about that $30,000 rig. They don't care about it. Why don't they care about it? They have a problem and they have green on their house and they want it done, and their husband isn't getting it done, so you have to go out there and do this. And so these are some reasons why we want to make sure that, yes, you can go buy equipment. Like I say, you can have the nicest 24 volt, the nicest air pump, the shooter tips, all the beautiful kinds of equipment, all the beautiful kinds of equipment, all the beautiful kind of chemicals out there. We get so worried about all this stuff here, and none of it grows your business because it just doesn't grow your business. And so this is why I preach that, hey, we got to do commercial. And how do we get commercial? You know, a lot of people don't even try to get commercial because they're scared to death of commercial. In fact, one person in my class was told, don't bid that job. That's too big for you. Bid it. You know what? If you don't get that job, you will learn all kinds of things of what permits do I need? How much does a lift cost? How do I get a lift? How do I bid this stuff? Am I high? Was I too high? Was I too low? Where did the person win the bid? And then you also learn how to network with people. And maybe you didn't get this job, but maybe you get the next job. Maybe they have other people. Maybe they have other apartment complexes. Maybe they have other things. And if you would have told that person, no, that job's way too big for me, I can't do that, you're not learning at that point. You've just shut off all process of trying to learn. Now, you can say, well, Jason, I just don't want to do commercial. Well, and that's fine, but you better be ready not to do nothing in June, July, and August because it is going to slow down. I guarantee you it will slow down, period. So, how do you keep it from slowing down? You know, some people are like, well, it just must be 2022 and, you know, gas is $5 a gallon and it just slowed down because of that. No, it did not slow down because of that. It might have helped it slow down, but it slowed down because of other reasons. It slowed down because it is June, July, and August. And it slows down for June, July, and August since I've started when I started in 2012, it slowed down in June, July, and August. You know, in fact, in 2013, 14, I started doing deck cleaning and sealing. Why? Because I knew it slowed down in those months. And in fact, I had one of my big jobs I did in June and July was a big log cabin. I stripped it, I stained it, I did the whole thing, right? It was a $10,000 job at the time. And it's why? Because I didn't have nothing else going on. And when you don't have nothing else going on, you do things that you might not want to do all the time. And you know what? I learned that I didn't want to do deck stripping and staining. It took a year to figure that out, but I figured it out pretty quickly. And so these are some things that we have to look at, and we have to look at what are some other, we might have to pivot a little bit. Maybe you might have to go clean windows for a little bit. You know, I've got a guy that he's cleaning interior windows right now because he's hitting his list, and they're like, hey, I need it done, and he needs to keep his guys busy, and so that's what it does. Now, he did an $80,000 month in May, but in June he didn't hit that big month. Why? Because it's June, July, and August. It slows down in those 3 months. It's just the nature of the beast. It happens year after year. There's nothing new about it. There's nothing that has changed in the last 10 years that it gets slow in these 3 months. So with that rant that I just did, what's your all's questions? I'm going to go through and read some of your questions. But has it slowed down for you? What did you do for June, or what did you do for May versus June? How has it affected you? Last year in June, it didn't slow down. But this year, it did as expected. Exactly. When you feel a job is too big, think about it. You can only do a little bit at a time anyway. So do a little bit and keep going next, and you'll know when you're done. And it goes back to, how do you eat an elephant? You eat an elephant one bite at a time, right? We can tackle these big jobs. I remember when Benjamin Gregory sent me the job that he bid at $178,000. He had no clue how he was going to do it. He bid it. He was higher than anybody else. He was $70,000 higher than his next competitor, and he was the one that got the bid. He bid it at $170,000, and the next guy was at 70, or the 100,000 guy, and the lowest was at $70,000. But he got it at $175,000. And so how did he do it? He did it one bite at a time, right? You do one step at a time. You go and you figure it out. You figure out how much you got to have for a lift. You got to figure out what all you got to have for a lift. Do you need any special license in your area? Do you have the harness? Do you have the hard hats? Do you have a ground guy? Do you have the mats to put underneath in case you got to go on the grass? Do you have all these things? Now, that sounds like a lot of work, Jason. I don't know if I could do all that. You can do it. And you know what? You will learn so much. I always say never stop learning. Never stop learning. Always keep learning. And you know what? If you go bid a job that is like way up here, you will learn all kinds of things. Now, do you think the people that just started bidding these jobs just automatically got these jobs and started doing it? No, it's little bit by little bit and doing it. I remember my first big commercial building. It's on 75 going down to Cotton Hill. It was a big apartment complex. It was old folks' home. And I had to rent a 135-foot lift. And I've never ran a 135-foot lift. I've ran fire trucks and I've done that. I never ran a 135 lift. I've ran 30-foot lifts and 60-foot lifts and 50-foot lifts, but I never ran a 135-foot lift. And so you know what? I figured it out. I got it done. And by the end of the week, I was standing up in the bucket. I don't like heights. I don't really care for heights. But I had to get it done. We were about 120 feet up in the air, and we were pretty far out, and the bucket was shaking like crazy. And I'm like, why is this bucket shaking so bad? And my good friend, Jeremy, he looked at me and he's like, look down at your knees. And my knees are literally sitting there shaking to death. I was scared to death when I was up on that 120 feet high and then it looked down over a valley, and that didn't make it any easier either. So these are some things we have to do. And you might say, well, how do I get commercial walks? How do I get commercial jobs? You know what? If you're slow and you're not doing nothing, go flip rocks. Go knock on doors. Go talk to commercial people. Go maybe you find something that somebody, don't go find the hospital because that's going to take days and months to get approved. We might want to find a little mom and pop shop. Maybe go knocking on doors and finding these people. Finding the people that answer the yes and no. If it's a large corporation and it's got to go up the chain, we can go flip those rocks, but let's go flip rocks that we can actually get. Let's go flip the rocks of, hey, it's the little mom and pop shop, they own the dental office. Hey, it's the mom and pop shop, they own the barber shop. Hey, it's the mom and pop shop, they own the little pizza joint. These are the people that we're going to go flip rocks. So then that way, when we go flip rocks, this is some things that we can do and try to get work. What do I need to remove grease or oil? You need a good degreaser, and you may need hot water. When the wind blows the cage around, I get freaked out every time. Yes, I agree. What do you recommend to remove old adhesive? I have a commercial job, and there is adhesive from the previous building sign that I need to remove. He might need some type of stripper or something that's going to break down that adhesive. So you may need to know what that adhesive is. And then just set the precedence of what you can do. You can't get everything off all the time. Sometimes when a sign's been on there a long time, it's going to be a different color. There's going to be a color difference. And so these are some things we got to think about when we're dealing with that. Leg work, flipping rocks, always. Yes. Yeah, it's slow right now. Had to get a job at Freightliner. And sometimes we have to do hard things. Sometimes we might need to go do Uber for a little bit or DoorDash or something to try to keep us busy when we are slow. Go find, like I said, go find what people need done and do that. I'm Slam Bro here, submitting a 34 location gas station quote Tuesday. Each location washed monthly, flat work only, and store canopy washed once a year. Walked in gas station, gave a card. You know, one business card for little pressure washing could be worth $100,000, $200,000. But you know what? That one little business card would have been worth about 5 cents in his pocket. So that's the importance of a 5 cent business card in your pocket is worth 5 cents. Handing that business card to that gas store could be worth $100,000. It could be worth $500,000. It could be worth $1,000,000. It could be worth a lot. But if that little 5 cent business card is in your pocket, it's worth 5 cents, and that's all it's worth. What all should I include in a proposal for hotel estimate? We're going to include everything, We're going to include exterior window cleaning. We're going to include all the concrete around everything. We're going to include whatever may need to be cleaned around the pool, whatever it might be. If it's exterior pools, whatever. What Titan reel size, 12-inch or 18? 12's fine. I have a soft wash system. I want to sell. It is new. Gold Assassin Degreaser and Green Beast Degreaser. Yes. I just started out in Eastern Kentucky. Can anyone refer a good general liability company? Yes. Go to pressurewashhelp.com/insurance, and that's going to send it to Matt Zinzer, and Matt Zinzer does Kentucky, and he will be your cheapest for it. He's actually out of Cincinnati, I believe it is, but he does cover Kentucky, and it works really. He's got probably the cheapest insurance you're going to have for it, champion. Local Chamber of Commerce can be your best friend, and local church, 100%. If you're not in your local Chamber of Commerce, you can do very well in there. Another one that I teach a lot about is your local apartment association. Both of them work amazing. Gold Assassin for oil and grease. Mr. Kyle McGuire. You do a great job helping people make money. Well, I try to. When the wind blows the cage around, I get freaked out. Matt Zinzer is great and works in Tennessee too. Yeah, he's in like Tennessee, Ohio, New Jersey. I don't think he goes to New Jersey, but he goes quite a few places around here. Jason, explain this to them. People that don't like to spend money on marketing, such as yard signs, one yard sign job pays for all of them and most certainly guaranteed to get more work. So I'll run on this one a little bit. As the old saying goes, it takes money to make money. And so if you're scared to death of putting money into marketing, you will not grow your business. You will go out of business. That's just a guarantee. If you are so scared to put money into marketing, and a lot of people think money is a gamble, right? You think of it as, well, I'll give 100 and see what happens, right? Is 100 good enough, or do I need to go more than that? And instead of thinking that as a gamble, think of it as investment. You're investing in yourself. You're investing in your business. And when you think of it as an investment, hey, I'm going to give this 10, you can go put money in the stock market, and you know what? It might go up. Right now, it's going like this, right? I looked at my stuff and I'm like, you're just better off not looking at it, because it just makes you sick when you look at it when the market's going down. And it's the same way with marketing. We have to look at that money. And right now, here's the deal with it. With marketing right now, in June, July, and August, it's going to be on a downward spin. It's not going to be like in May and June, or April and May, when you put money in marketing in June, or April and May, it's going to be on an uphill slide, man. You can't, there's some things that you can't hardly do to mess up marketing. But when we're putting marketing money into marketing in June, July, and August, it either might be flat, it might even be down on a little bit. But guess what happens when it comes September? It's going to start going back up again, right? September, October, it'll go back up. And it's the same way with marketing. We got to keep, this is one thing that if you're willing to do a budget, right, and say, hey, I want to make $100,000 this year, and I'm going to put 15% into marketing, and I'm going to spend $1,000 a month for 10 months into AdWords, whatever. I'm going to spend that $1,000 on AdWords every month, even if I don't know if it's going to give me a return back. Even in June, July, and August, I will still put my $1,000 in there, because you never know when that $1,000 June, July, and August, it could be down. But you know what? It could be a $100,000 job that if I would have been like, well, you know what? In these 3 months, I'm going to pull my money back. I'm not going to invest in my money in these 3 months because I'm going to wait till there. What if it's that $100,000 job that you just turned down because you didn't put money out there? And this is why we got to be. This is why we have to be consistent, prolific, and relentless. We got to do it no matter whether it hurts or not. This is why when in the beginning of the year I say go put out 25 signs, 50 signs every week. Not, well, I got busy and now I don't need to go put them out. Well, I got slow, I'm going to go put them out. Well, they're not working real well right now in June, July, and August because the phone kind of quits ringing, right? No, I want you to put them out every week. I want you to be consistent. I want you to be prolific. I want you to be relentless. I want you to do it every time, no matter what. You know what? I am doing this live every Sunday night, no matter what. Even if I'm on vacation in Montana, I'm doing this live because I am being consistent, I'm being prolific, and I'm being relentless. Thursday night, I didn't do it. I failed on Thursday night. That's probably 5 in 2 years that I haven't showed up. But I am consistent, I'm prolific, I'm relentless. The reason why I didn't show up on Thursday night is because I was 3 hours behind and my class was just getting over, and I had to drive an hour and a half, 2 hours in traffic that sucked. And by that time, it was already 6:30. And so, you know what? But any other time, even on vacation, I'm sitting here talking to you all, helping you grow your business, helping you get to the next level. I ain't being no fast salesman trying to sell you a bunch of crap. I'm not that person. That's not me. I don't want that. You know what? Because fast salesmen talking don't always help you out in the end. I want to help you out. I want you to grow your business. I want you to grow your business. You know what? And I'll tell you the hard truth that, you know what? June, July, and August sucks. It sucks. Is Cleansall BC the best for gutter removal? No. It would be more of gutter butter or gutter grenade is better. LA Awesome works really well too. Jason knows his crap. He will make you $100,000 plus. You know what? My goal is to make 1,000 people $100,000. And that's what my goal is. And I will do it in any way I can to help you grow your business. Do I have stuff to sell? Sure I do. If I wouldn't be able to give you this information if I didn't. But you know what? If you go through every one of my YouTube videos, I give you every bit of it there. Now, in my course, it just brings it all together, puts it in a nice blueprint, and it makes things a lot easier. You get to talk to me on Monday nights, which is probably the best thing is the community, because the community helps each other out, and that is what is amazing. And that's what the whole, Pressure Wash Help, it's a membership, but it's a community. It literally is a community. I'm trying to find the right people in my community to help 1,000 people make $100,000 a year. And I want you to make more than that, but that's where I'm at right now. Effective marketing is not just doing it when it's good. It's about top of the mind frequency, doing it year round, even when it snows. Yep. Jason, tell him, boy. Cleansall BC for both, yes, but gutter butter works a lot better. Gutter grenade too. And I want to hit on another thing. Just because you see a video out here, and especially I haven't made a video on one of this here, but I know, and I give Ray crap about it, and I know I'm giving Ray crap about it, but that's all right. He's got thick shoulders. I've talked to him, and I give him crap all the time. But of oxidation removal. Actually, one of the guys in my Christmas light class is like, "Oh yeah, we've been down that road before. We'll never do that again." There's a reason why I haven't posted a video about oxidation removal. Is it because I'm too tight to go buy a bucket of Cleanse All BC and try it? No, it's not. Because I've heard too many horror stories of people using Cleanse All BC trying to get oxidation removed off of a house and have screwed up the house. One went and started, and it just started, as soon as he sprayed it on, it started stripping all the paint off the house. Because he sprayed it on an aluminum siding house and not a vinyl siding house. And then he had to take a brush and brush it all off, and it took him all day to do one job. That's just one. I've had several other people say the same thing, and so that's why I don't show stuff. I grew my business to $1 million. I'm going to show you things that are going to grow your business to 100,000 or $1 million. Now, if you want to go over $1 million, I'm not the person to show you. I'm not the person to teach you. I haven't been there. I've been to $1 million, and I'm going to help you get to where you want to go. Now, that's something that I will do. Etching windows, yeah, that sucks. When you get time, can you check? Yes. Actually, I have you on my list, Evan. I've been traveling. Well, I had class for 3 days, and then I drove 5 hours last night, and I drove 5 hours a day. I have you on my list of when I get on my computer to check that stuff. So that I do have. I'm having a hard time finding a local place that has fresh SH. Only stuff I can find is in a gallon at 10% SH. Will that potency be strong enough to do downstream up for a house wash? Yes, it will. Absolutely will. Yikes, I'm going to stay away from oxidation removal then. I seen United Soft Wash made a video about Cleansol and made it seem possible to clean. I'm telling you, they do. It makes it look real easy. The guy that was in my Christmas light class this weekend, it was on vinyl siding, and he said it was the most nightmare that he ever had to deal with. How close to winter can you soft wash? Depends on where you're at. If you're up north, you're going to probably start around October. If you're down south, you go all year long. When I started 6 years ago, I spent $1,000 on different chemicals and found out a lot wasn't the best. I carry and use a few chemicals, since waste money like I did. Yeah, actually, Jason he posted a thing a while ago that he had all these chemicals that he bought because this is what everybody told me to get. I need all these chemicals, and he's got a whole shelf full of them, and he's still got a whole shelf full of them. Michigan, yeah. So you're going to probably shut down about October, the end of October. How many years were you on the truck before you were able to let employees do it all? That's a great question, Gene. So this was one of my struggle points. This was the hardest thing for Jason to do, to get off the truck. It was the hardest thing for me to do. I ended up off the truck so I started the business in 2012. I started bringing employees in 2014, 13-ish, 14-ish. And I finally was 100% off the truck in 2016. I didn't have the correct systems down right. I didn't have the correct training down for people. And that was the hardest thing for me to do, was to get off the truck. And that's not something that I'm proud of. If I had to do it over, I'd be able to get off the truck a lot faster because I know now. But it's a tough thing to do. You have to realize that if that employee can do it at 70% as good as you can, let it fly, baby. Let it roll. Let it roll. Just give them good systems and let it keep moving. I'm in Ohio. and I stopped late December. And some of it depends on the weather. Like this year, we had a mild winter, and so you could work longer. Vinyl siding shouldn't be painted, though, correct. Vinyl comes in different colors, but people can paint, but that's not the right way. Yeah, people will paint it. Mark my words, I'm going to be one of the 1,000 that will do 100,000 that you help. Awesome. I haven't had a problem with Cleansall BC or Brush the House. Maybe because I did it twice, 2 coats. Yeah, and that's another thing. It is 4th of July. Make sure y'all are safe out there. Don't be blowing your fingers off or your head off. That's not too smart. Working at the fire department all those years, I've seen some pretty stupid stuff happen. So don't be that stupid person. It ain't no good. What other questions we got in here? I'll roll up here and see if I can find some other good ones. I'm sure you all put something on here. Quoting a business center on Tuesday, Spanish style tile, 33,000 square feet, each building total 4 total. So on this, I would kind of figure out how long it's going to take me, charge $3,000 a day, plus materials if you want to, and that's where I would be at. Have you ever seen 3 pressure washers in a bath? No. What's the best degreaser for a mechanic's garage? I would use, there's a product that I would use if I'm in a mechanic's garage. I would use sodium hydroxide, or I would use a Russ Johnson sells BD25, and that's probably what I would be using on it. I just reached a $100,000 contract with the city. Nice. Have you ever been scammed by a check after doing a job? It happened to me last week. It can happen. You can still do like a mechanic's lien against the house and stuff, or try to, or threaten to do it. What should I use for cleaning solar panels? Water-fed pole is what you want to. Water-fed pole. Water-fed pole. Water-fed pole work great. Solar panels, water-fed pole. I'm stocking up on Golden Stash and Cherry Sling. Sounds like some gutter butter, and still trying to decide if Cleansall is worth it. No. Honestly, what you need to stock up on is bleach and marketing. That's what you need to stock up on. I mean, you can go get Purple Power. You can go get Super Clean. I've actually seen people do a test spot with Purple Power versus Golden Assassin, and guess what? You couldn't tell the difference. So, I received an inheritance and want to start my own company to make my money grow. What are the 3 areas I should invest money into? Marketing, marketing, marketing. That's where you want to be at. Marketing. Got a solar panel job lined up. Just have extended soft tip brush, thinking just water and brush them down. I would use deionized water, DI water. I just got a Power Shot 3.5. Will that work for my first washer? Yep, it will. Get you a downstream injector and you'll be ready to rock and roll. What time of year are typically slow periods and which are high ones? So, depending on your location, like us in up north here, you're looking at January, February are slow, nothing. Then March, April, and May will be like rocket ship. And then June, July, and August will be back down low. And then September, October will usually be good. And then if you do Christmas lights, October, November will be off to the moon. And then December sucks, and then it starts all over again. Yeah, I top my 65-gallon tank off and have 2 Facebook ads running. 24 years in soft washing, bone spurs, and feet, having surgery in off season, hiring employees. My best advice: yes, hire employees. This is not an old man's job. Now, I know a lot of old men that do it and they do well, but this is a young man's job. Cleanse all BC gutter butter is all carried in 1-gallon jug. If you were someone just starting out in pressure washing business, what type of dedicated pump would you use? What kind of dedicated? I would use a 12 volt. Is what I would use. Cheap, easy, and I can put more money into marketing, right? Because marketing is what grows my freaking business. If I do an air pump, that's $2,000, $3,000. If I do a gas pump, that's $2, $3, $4,000. If I do a 12 volt, that's $200. That's $1,800 to $3,000 that I can put into marketing to get more jobs. More jobs is more important for me. Um, Will my surface cleaner losing? Why is my surface cleaner losing pressure? Well, what's it? Is the tip clogged? Is the tips? You do have to replace those tips. If those tips get wore out, that'll cause the problem too. What will SH be downstreaming 10% straight from the bottle? You'll be, if you got a 10-to-1, you'll be right at 1%. Is downstreaming jet only for soft washing? Is downstreaming jet only for soft washing? I don't understand that question. Downstreaming is using a pressure washer and it will soft wash. Thanks, Jason. Gotta burn some sparklers. Just don't burn your finger sparklers. Just wanted to get any chemicals you need. If just wanting to get any chemicals can need if run into any upsells on a house. Honestly, I would carry 1 restore and bleach, and you can do almost all upsells with that right there. And even if you need to, you can go get $1 of LA Awesome, and then you can do gutter brightening. Is this the first month free for your program? You can, if you use July 4. July 4 is your best offer to do it. In the discount code, if you add the discount, so if you go to Pressure Wash Help that, or go to King of Pressure Wash, and in the discount put July 4. I think it's all got to be capitalized, maybe July 4, and that's your best discount that you will get. You need to do a draw test. Tips are fine, but it's losing pressure and not as effective when it first was. Are you going to do a Christmas light class in the Midwest? I am, if I get the class up. I'm planning on doing one in August in around us, or in the Cincinnati, Indianapolis area. And then I will be doing one in September and October down in Raleigh. If you were starting a pressure washing business, what would be the cheapest pressure washer? I would at least go with I would go with a 5-gallon a minute pressure washer is where I would be at. It makes a big difference. So we were doing John has 2 4-gallon minute pressure washers on his trailer, and he was like, and I had Siamesed them together right before we even got started. And so he was pressure washing, and he was like, man, what's the difference between a 4-gallon and 8-gallon? So we started out with 8 gallons, so we had both of them running, so it was 8 gallons, right? So we were running 8 gallons, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go over here and turn the soap off, and I'm going to turn one machine off, and you tell me what the difference is between 4-gallon and 8-gallon. And I come around there, and he's like, this is like pissing in the wind versus 8-gallon a minute. So I went and turned the 8-gallon minute back on, and it was like on like Donkey Kong. Makes a huge difference. If I'm using the NextJet M5, should I use the proportioners or just have it in the bucket premix? I would just premix it. I would just, do half water and half that. Have one sweet tea on me, LA Awesome on me. Awesome, dude. What do you think about the Predator 8-gallon Harbor Freight motor? It does all right. I'm not a big fan of it. You might get a year out of them. Might get a month out of them. That's the problem with it. But I use XJet tips. So other than that, keep marketing, guys. I know it's going to slow down. It's just going to slow down. It's just the nature of the beast. It does it every year. It's not nothing new. It's just something that happens every year. It's been happening for 10 years that I've been in this business. I started in 2012, and every year it slows down this time of year. Now, I'm not saying you can't get a big job here or there, but it slows down a lot. But you got to keep marketing. You got to keep flipping rocks. You got to keep trying. You got to keep doing those hard things. And we got to be consistent, prolific, and relentless. We got to do it when we don't want to do it no more, right? We got to go do those 5 rounds. We got to go do that, drop those business cards off at those business. And when you do that, you will have amazing success. And so keep pushing, keep doing what you need to do, and it will happen. I guarantee it. And so, again, right now, if you go to kingofpressurewash.com, you can go check out and put July 4 in there, and it will give you a great discount. I get depressed this time of year because I feel like I'm failing. And it does, man. It really does slow down. So it just slows down. It's just something that happens, and it happens every year. Happy 4th of July. Chat, wash on, blessings to everyone. Hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you all later.